We've got tips and recipes for healthy living. So for fun and inspiration, come and join us in the raw food world.
Welcome everybody. This is Matt Monarch with the Raw Food World TV show. And what we have for you today is one of the most popular selling superfoods in the world, which is maca. And we are offering all 6 kinds of maca that we have at cost, which means it's a minimum of 30% off. If you get 3 of one of any of these kinds of macas, it is an additional 10% off. And you can always use the 7% off coupon code RAWFOOD7. And what we have here today, which has just come into our warehouse, the red maca and black maca is back. We have 6 kinds of maca in stock right now. We've got yellow maca, gelatinized yellow maca, red maca, gelatinized red maca, black maca, and black gelatinized maca. So why is maca one of the most popular superfoods in the world? Well, there have been many clinical studies done on all 3 colors of the macas, but the most popular clinical studies done were done on premenopausal women who had issues with night sweats, hot flashes, and low bone density markers. And what happened was they gave all the women pre-gelatinized maca, and the results were profound. Not only did they sleep better, hot flashes and the night sweats lessened, hormones actually increased and balanced out. For example, estrogen levels went up, which actually plays a critical role in bone health, which actually provided higher bone density markers for these participants. And it's not just premenopausal women who have benefited from maca. I've literally met women from all different ages, from all around the world, who have reported to have had tremendous results when taking the maca with their hormone levels. And guys, it is critical, extremely important to make sure that you've got maca lying around the house at all times for your ladies. Trust me, you want to do this. Me personally, I make sure it's in the counter, it's in the cupboard in 3 different areas. Maca is readily available for my wife. So what's all the hype about all of the different colors of maca? We've got yellow maca, red maca, and black maca. What's the difference? Well, there's something called secondary metabolites, which is contained inside the maca. And what the secondary metabolites do for the maca is when it's in the ground and in the wild, these secondary metabolites act as a defense measure from insects and other things like that to protect it from being eaten up and stuff like this. And each color of maca has different secondary metabolites. And what these do is they actually produce a different reaction and benefit on the human body depending on what secondary metabolites you are getting. So the yellow has a group of secondary metabolites, red has a different group, and black has a different group after that. And they all provide, in clinical studies, different benefits on the human body. And what we're going to do right now is go into all of these benefits across the board from black, red, and yellow. But before I do this, I want to talk about something that's extremely disturbing to me. Now, I've been in this raw foods and superfoods movement for about 15 years now. And what happened was when I first got into this movement, there are all of these middlemen that, sell superfoods, and they tout how amazing their products are. They say they're the best. They're just bar none. You can't do anything better than what they provide you. And me, as who began my business 15 years ago, was really excited about these guys because I trusted them for one reason. And I could literally just buy 24 bags of maca, 24 bags of goji berries, 18 bags of noni powder, and have an entire raw food and superfood store ready to start business immediately. But little did I know, as I started to expand and grow, we became bigger and bigger, I started to bypass these people and go directly to the source. And then I started to discover what was really going on in the superfoods industry. When I first got my first pallets and container of maca to myself, And we always choose the AAA plus grade superfood across the board, no matter what the situation is. Now, many of our competitors, practically an extremely high percentage, there are many different grades of maca and every other superfood out there. And I didn't even know about this back in the day. Like there's seriously 10 different grades of maca. There's rejects, there's unripe, there's just all sorts of issues with these macas. And so when I got our maca for the first time, the AAA plus grade that these people said that they were getting me, I couldn't believe the difference. It almost felt like it was burning on my tongue, my mouth. Customers of ours had never experienced a maca like this, and sometimes it was funny, they thought that it wasn't even maca because this is literally one of the most real macas available on the market, and it's absolutely insane. You guys, this is the cream of the crop here. It does not get better than this. This is AAA grade. There's no maca on the planet out there. And red and black maca at this quality is impossible. I had one supplier who was trying to sell me some when China took all the maca and the stuff we weren't able to supply because we couldn't even keep up demand with the yellow. It was laced with other ingredients. A lot of this stuff is laced with other ingredients like mesquite and sugar and other stuff like that. It's disgusting. I seriously won't touch any other maca but our own. Not only are most companies out there, I am certain, not getting the AAA grade, and I beg you to buy a bag of ours and then buy all of our competitors, and you will taste the difference and feel the difference without any doubt whatsoever. And I've been to factories, they're sitting there washing maca in city water, the workers aren't necessarily happy and all that energy is going into it. And the way we process our maca, we actually have a video of it on YouTube. To get to these maca fields, firstly, you have to drive like 15 hours in pristine air. And by the time you get to the top of the mountain, you are seriously invigorated. It's incredible. And the entire maca field is fed off of spring water, and the factory is right there. And we actually use the spring water to clean the maca. There was actually one farmer who came to us offering us maca the size of a basketball. What is going on here? They're just pumping it with fertilizers and pesticides. I mean, it's not GMO supposedly, but a basketball? Ours are little maca roots, and to get them out of the ground, it's like really hard to uproot. This is like incredible. It's like wild. The greens coming out are extremely wild. And a lot of the time, many people aren't going direct like we are. And what is happening is they're being told that they're getting the best stuff, and they don't even realize that they're selling organic maca that is pumped with fertilizers and pesticides that are the size of a basketball. I actually have a picture of this on our website. I literally believe we are one of the only companies that buys the maca directly from the farmer and processes it ourselves. This is, without a doubt, the cream of the crop, the best maca available. It doesn't get better. Anyhow, let's get back into this video about how we're going to discuss the differences between red, black, and yellow maca and the benefits of each. Okay, now what we're going to start with is the black maca. And this is a personal favorite of mine. Not only does it taste really good, but I feel it has the strongest benefits of all the other macas, and it actually states that on Wikipedia. There were actually 5 different clinical studies done on black maca that actually showed that it has the potential to be very beneficial for memory and learning. They took black, red, and yellow maca, and they gave some of the rats black, some of them red, and some of them yellow. And the mice that took the black maca did better all across the board. They did really good on the step down avoidance test, in the swimming water finding task. it showed that their cognitive thinking and functioning, memory and learning were actually improving and better than the other mice that took the red and the yellow maca. Black maca actually had the best results. Red maca had moderate and yellow was just all right. Now, here's the big bad boy. They did a clinical study where they took black, red, and yellow maca again, and they were testing for daily sperm production in rats. And the mice that took the black maca had profound results with their daily sperm production. It actually skyrocketed. And the red maca had 0 results, while the yellow maca had moderate results. And not only did the daily sperm production of the mice go up who took the black gelatinized maca, but also their sperm motility improved, which is the ability of the sperm to get to the egg. So not only did it increase daily sperm production, but also increased sperm motility. And to have daily sperm production go up from simply taking a superfood, that's absolutely profound to me. Sperm contains cerebrospinal fluid, which is one of the most valuable fluids in the human body. It coats the brain, the eyes, and the spine. And it's been stated that you'd have to juice probably a ton of alfalfa, which is one of the most rich in minerals plant there is, to simply get a small amount of the amount of minerals that is in this cerebrospinal fluid. And for Black maca, gelatinized maca, was an extract, for it to actually increase daily sperm production, that is just absolutely powerful to aid in this process. Anyways, when black gelatinized maca was taken with yucca syrup in a clinical study, it actually showed the reduction of blood glucose levels. And then there was another clinical study where they did red, black, and yellow maca next to each other, and it actually made bones stronger for those who took the red and black maca, and yellow maca not so much. And we don't want to forget about the major benefits of red maca. There were actually 5 different clinical studies done on red maca with rats to where it actually decreased the size of the prostate. And this is really good. Many men take red maca to help with their if they have prostate issues, while yellow maca and black maca had 0 impact on the prostate. Now, the yellow maca, there's been way more clinical studies done on yellow maca compared to red and black because of how prevalent it is. There have been clinical studies done on athletic performance, in helping with fertility, erectile dysfunction, and so much more. Now, when they did these yellow maca studies, they didn't test it against red or black, but I have a good feeling that the black would still do better than the yellow in all these instances, even though the yellow did show results in some of these clinical studies. And just to get a deeper understanding of the different colors of maca and how they're grown in the wild, if you were to take a square foot of maca and how it's naturally grown, what you would see is about, in this square foot patch of maca, there would be about 6 to 8% black maca, 8 to 12% red maca, and about 80% yellow maca. That's just how it's naturally grown. So the final aspect that I'm going to touch upon today is raw maca versus gelatinized maca. Now, all of these different clinical studies were done with either gelatinized maca or an extract of maca, which is closer to gelatinized maca versus raw maca. So what are the differences between raw and gelatinized maca? Well, raw maca is simply taking the root, drying it, and grinding it down into a powder to where you have maca in a bag. And it's raw and it's completely intact. Now, when you do gelatinized maca, what you do is you put it through this heating process, which kills all the enzymes because it goes beyond the 118-degree mark. Now, some of you might frown upon this, but it's actually a very beneficial thing for many reasons. Firstly, when the maca goes through the gelatinized process, it actually cracks the cell to where it actually makes these secondary metabolites more bioavailable to the human body. And remember, it's these secondary metabolites that actually make these benefits happen within these clinical studies. Furthermore, when you gelatinize the maca, you're taking out all of the dead space, but you're keeping the secondary metabolites. So when you remove the dead space, you're getting a more condensed product, which actually includes bunch more secondary metabolites out in it because you're removing all of the dead space. So if you were to take raw maca versus gelatinized maca, you're probably getting 2 or 3 or 4 times more secondary metabolites than you would if you took the raw maca, which includes all of that dead space in there. Also, many people say that maca has a toxic enzyme in it, and you might want to like only take it for a certain amount of time and then break, and then you can start taking it again. Me, for example, if I take the raw maca for more than 4 days straight, I get digestive issues. And with the gelatinized maca, I could take as much as I want without any issue whatsoever. So if you're trying to receive any of the benefits that were stated in any of these clinical studies, I feel that gelatinized maca is the way to go. If you're wanting to improve memory and learning with the black gelatinized maca, or if you want to increase daily sperm production or balance your hormones, they actually use pre-gelatinized maca, yellow maca, to balance their hormones, and they had the bone density markers go up and stuff like that. So gelatinized maca is the way to go. So why would anybody even want to take raw maca in the first place? Well, remember, raw maca has the sugars and starches intact. And if you're a guy interested in, or woman interested in muscle building or gaining weight and doing, building up muscle, the raw maca would probably definitely be the way to go because the sugars and starches are intact. Also, another very beneficial thing about the raw maca is, for example, if you go to our land where the maca is grown, you will see those wild leaves coming out of the ground. If you were trying to pull one of these macas out, it's very difficult. It's wild. It's very hard to uproot. And in the Doctrine of Signatures, which is shared all amongst herbalists, that when something is difficult to uproot, it has resilience and is strong, and that gets passed on to the human body. And this would most likely happen in its raw form versus the gelatinized form. And this is actually something that's very important to me, and this is why I continue to take raw maca on a consistent basis, but just occasionally. I'll take it for a few days and then stop for a few days. But I do have to admit, I like to take the black gelatinized maca the most. It tastes incredible. Everybody loves the black gelatinized maca. People are energized. In my hangout that I just did, we just got them back in stock for the first time in a long time. I put some on my finger, put it in my mouth, and I was like, bing! It totally changed my entire energy and attitude for the rest of the hangout. I was flying once again. And that's the benefits of these superfoods. You literally get these boosts in your reality, in your everyday life, to where you guys, it's the best that there is. Anyways, and this is the black gelatinized maca. There it is. Just that little bit. You only need a little bit. And I'm just like, bing! Total difference. It's unbelievable. I love it. Anyways, just to avoid confusion and what we got going on here, we finally got black and red maca available again to us. It's been a very long time since we've had it. So what we did was we took our gelatinized maca bags and our raw maca bags, and we put black maca and red maca stickers on there, just so you're not confused. It would have taken me an entire month longer to get these products in stock, to print the bags and stuff like that. I'm like, no way, we just got to do this, the sticker thing. So if it says black maca here on a gelatinized bag, that means you got the black gelatinized maca, and so forth. If it's on the raw maca, you got black raw maca. I just got an incredible boost from that. I'm seriously flying. I'm really sensitive, guys. I feel these things. Anyways, for the next 2 weeks, we have all 6 macas: raw yellow maca, gelatinized yellow maca, red maca, red gelatinized maca, black maca, and black gelatinized maca at cost, which means it's 30% off. And if you get 3 of any one of these, you've got to get 3 of either red gelatinized maca or black gelatinized maca. 3 of one, you get an additional 10% off. And then everybody can use Raw Food 7 for 7% off. That coupon code is always good. So that's an additional 7% off on top of this. And this is the best maca on the planet. You can't even really get real red and black gelatinized maca and red and black maca anymore. And the stuff that's out there sucks. It's back. We're the first ones to bring it back, and it's incredible. All right, guys. This is Matt Monarch, rocking the red and black maca. It is back, baby. And I'm loving these superfoods. It brightens my day. It brings me out into the world with more energy, and I am absolutely loving them. I'm experimenting always. I'm moving on to the Ayurvedic herbs next. And this is Matt Monarch, rocking the raw food world. And we'll see you next time at the Raw Food World TV show.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again at the Raw Food World.